awesome, man.
That's all time. When you talk about like cross pollinate and stuff like that, was there an issue with like when Joe Rogan moved to Austin? Did that become a problem?
Meaning,
Because you guys would always work together, do stuff, fight companion stuff.
Yeah.
When he left to go to Texas, he doesn't really come back to Cali very much, does he?
No, he hates Cali. Yes and no. Obviously, he's such a good friend. I miss him, and I miss being at the Comedy Store. He was the Comedy Store, and the Comedy Store has definitely changed since he's left.
Changed in what way?
We gotta be careful with this. He just, it's just not normal anymore. Like Joe Rogan was the story, and it was like our guys there, and he leaves, and the pandemic hits, so it's not a knock on the Comedy Store. They're trying to figure out, but a bunch of guys move. Segura move, Bart's always on the road, so it's just a different dynamic. But also, for when Joe left, Joe was such a powerful dude. It's like he was like the comedy scene. So he would take over. He'd do Rogan and Friends Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at the Improv in the Comedy Store. And it's like, unless you're one of his friends, you ain't getting on, dude.
Yeah.
Thank God I was one of his friends, but still, you'd book me maybe on one of the shows, but he literally just like took over, man.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. He sold out every fucking show for years, man, years. So by him leaving, there's a void. There now, someone needs to do it. So I was like, I'm gonna do Schaub and Friends. So I started doing Schaub and Friends at the Improv. And then, it's also nice not to be so attached to him. Yeah, he's done more than anyone in my life or my career, but also, I have to do my own thing.
Right.
But we still talk every day. Like when my special drops, I'll go out there, do the show. So we still talk all the time, but he's not in LA, man. So it's tough.
Are you gonna be in LA forever, you think?
I think I don't know about forever. I love it. Especially where I'm at, it's like when Rogan goes bad on LA on a show. He lived a mile from me. He acts like we live on Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah.
Like when the riots on, like, I've never even seen a homeless guy where we live. I don't know what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, we live in a gated community. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
He's like, it's getting bad out here, man. I'm sick of this. I'm like, sick of what? The sunshine? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But he acts like we're living on fucking Skid Row, and we're like, have our guns out, and it's fucking The Purge.
Just get to your car.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, we're 45 minutes outside of all that bullshit. What are you talking about? But
That's fucking wild. All his stuff coming out too. That YouTube video, that 12 minutes, him just saying the N-word was tough. But the way he did it was unreal. Like the way he handled it, no lawyers, just made a video and apologized for the whole thing, was another great way to go through cancel culture.
Yeah, but I also think, that stuff, there's an agenda there, right? Because he's literally the biggest show in the world. Like one of his episodes destroys CNN an entire it takes CNN 2 weeks to get.
How many like eyes and ears does he usually get in like one show, you think?
Depend on the guest, but you're averaging probably around 13 million.
Fuck, man.
Dude.
Yeah, is that good? I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty decent. Yeah.
And CNN's like, maybe if 600,000, 700,000. Fox maybe 1 million if it's Tucker Carlson. So they can't touch him. So you have this wild child who's just spewing where the fuck he wants out. And they want to, frame him as this far-right guy, and anti-vax can be further from the fucking truth. But he's just so undeniable. And then when you start talking about vaccines, you have those people on with voices. And Joe's thing is he's not anti-vax. He's just giving this guy a platform who maybe doesn't go along with the narrative that this mainstream media is putting out. He's going to give him a voice and hear him out. Doesn't mean he agrees with him, but he wants to give this guy a voice because everyone else is YouTube shut him down, Twitter shut him down. So Joe's like, I'll have a conversation with him. He's not anti-vax.
Right.
He just wants this guy's opinion. Guy had some good opinions. And then, it's such a big show. The mainstream media feels some type of way. So then Joe becomes public enemy number one. And they don't have Trump to shit on anymore. So now it's Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
What they don't realize, you're dealing with the wrong fucking guy. You're not going to beat him. So, but then you're dealing with a bigger conglomerate with, big pharma, fucking these big boy networks coming after you. Different type of cancel culture.
But the crazy part is he has somebody on that's the opposite end of that spectrum of the agenda that was trying to get him like canceled, right?
Correct.
Like if he has a far right person on, everybody on social media and CNN and all these networks try to grab their little bits and pieces of his show and be like, see, look what he's doing. Not knowing that 3 days later that there was somebody on that was from the opposite side of the spectrum, but nobody's talking about because they want to bring him down.
That doesn't get clicks. Like that negative kind of angle gets clicked, but this is what they don't realize is by doing that, most people aren't sheep and aren't dumbasses. And maybe they didn't know Joe Rogan at the time and he puts out a really good product. So what happens is maybe in California and New York, you know, these woke left areas, they're like, yeah, he's the worst. But you know, that's not America, man. The rest of America who aren't sheep were like, who's this guy who didn't know him before?
Yeah.
They download his podcast, like, oh fuck, really good.
Yeah.
He's pretty open mind. Wow. So his numbers after all this went. And
That's fucking
even
wild.
bigger.
Make him
They're
strong.
doing it for him.
The media, they don't get the machine. I'm telling you, you're fucking with the wrong guy. Now you're making him bigger, more powerful, more famous, which he doesn't want. But what you were trying to silence him actually made him bigger.
Yeah,
So
he
now
really
you have even a bigger problem on you.
he really doesn't care about being famous at all, huh?
Hates it.
Really?
Yeah.
Because when he signed that big contract with Spotify, one of the first podcasts he had, whoever he was with, was like, "Hey, you did an amazing job. Like you made $100 million or whatever it was," and he like shut it down right away.
Nix it right away.
Well, good. He was
doesn't
went
like
around the
that.
avenues,
Yeah, he don't like that.
but
Like,
why
people
not?
sucking him off? You know, he's just not what he doesn't like the attention. He doesn't like touch. Him and I are different. Where like I'll post my cars, right? Like I got a Ferrari. I finally got in the Ferrari club, which to me is like bucket list, big deal. My family, huge car guys, couldn't afford his kids. In my living room, we'd have pictures of cars. My dad was like, "This is the goal." Your boy got the goal, so I flew my dad out, drove to San Diego Ferrari, surprised my dad. They pulled the Ferrari back. My dad's crying. It's a big deal, dude.
No
I
shit.
post that shit. And Joe's on the Joe and calendar, and they come from a different kind of frame of mind. We're like, you don't post that stuff. You don't boast about. I'm like, it's different, dude.
Mhm.
My fan base grew up seeing me fucking fight in my underwear, dude. I couldn't afford food till this. Like they've rode with me this far. Like this is stuff that they want to see. Like they're proud of me.
Mhm.
But they're different. They don't want to boast about numbers, money. Not that I'm bragging, but it's more like, oh, we did this.
Yeah, it's just
That
a
makes
different way you
sense.
grew up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm
sometimes
also way younger than them, you know?
Mhm.
right. And you probably don't think about what people would, you know, I guess I'm not saying that they think about like the hating aspect of it, but you just think about some unwanted attention that you probably get from like posting that because, oh, of course you're posting all this shit. Like it's easy to blah, blah, blah. They think your life's easy now, right?
Yeah, they have no idea. But I don't subscribe to any of that. Like I have, you know, I post when people say, "Oh, I post and ghost." I haven't seen a comment in 2 years. I don't see anything. I don't have social media on my phone.
You probably dabbled a comment of mine or two, right?
Never,
Maybe.
never.
Maybe.
You follow Will?
I'm sure I do. I don't see anything. I don't see social media.
Come on, dude. Don't
No,
do
I'm
that.
sorry, man.
You literally sent me a photo of my Peaky Blinders haircut that when I got it.
That was on the show though. Someone brought it up, and then I have them send it to me. Or if there's something popping, I'll have the guys say, like, "Go check this out." So I'm in the loop. But somewhat's tough, like because news breaks on social media. So it's like in the fight world, like I find out like Chandler Ferguson's fighting from my fucking guy at Starbucks.
Yeah.
Like, how about that fight, man? I'm like, what fight?
He follows you, Will.
Yeah.
He follows you.
Hell
Dude,
yeah.
it's crazy. You're missing some hitters out there right now. I'll tell you that much.
know.
Especially if you follow the boys, you're missing out,
I
man.
Yeah,
know,
some
I know,
solid
it's
shit
great
out there.
content. I know, but that's the price you pay.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a much happier life to live, I bet.
I hope you guys like this clip. If you want to continue to be for the boys, you need to like this video, subscribe to the channel, share with a friend, and check out our playlist. We have all the links right here on the screen. As always, biggest of hugs and tiniest of kisses. Also, go check out the full episodes, but always for the boys.